Hey everybody, so this is just a video going over the warm-up and homework from section 9.6 day 1. So go ahead and take out a scrap sheet of paper and do these warm-up problems. Go ahead and pause and then do your best on these and then play whenever you're ready, okay? Okay, so now remember on Friday what we learned is that the zero product property said that either one of these two parentheses could end up being 0 for this statement to be true. Like if I made this parentheses 0, it doesn't matter whatever this x plus 7 equaled, it would equal 0, right? If I made this x 0, it doesn't matter what this x minus 2 would equal, it would make the whole thing 0. So there are really two answers, whatever make x minus 4 0, or whatever makes x plus 7 0. So my solutions are x is equal to 4 or x is equal to negative 7. Same thing here. You said x minus 2 equal to 0, and then you set x equal to 0. So add the 2 over to the other side. You get x is equal to 2 and 0. Now for these ones, remember that you've got to factor it to put it into that form. And just make sure that it's in standard form, which will come into play in the second one. I want to factor this. What factors of negative 35? I had to get to negative 2. They're negative 7 and positive 5. So we set each one equal to 0. X minus 7 equal to 0. X plus 5 equals 0. So we add the 7 to get x is equal to 7. We subtract the 5, so we get x is equal to negative 5. Those are my two solutions. Okay, now do you see how this x squared needs to move over to the right? So it would be 0 is equal to x squared plus, see, I have to add it over, plus 7x plus 6. And then we say, okay, factors of 6 that add to get to 7. That's x plus 6 and x plus 1. I like to keep my x equals 0, or my 0 on the right side. It doesn't really matter though. We say x plus 6 is equal to 0 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. We subtract the 6, so we get x is equal to negative 6. We subtract the 1, we get x is equal to negative 1. So those are my two solutions. All right, so let's take a look at the homework. Go ahead and get out your homework. I'm going to go through these problems. You had to do numbers 1 through 19. Okay, I'm going to read off some answers for the first set, and then you can, if we need to, we can go over some problems tomorrow in class. So for number 1, you're going to have x is equal to negative 2 or x is equal to 8. Number 2, we're going to have x is equal to 6 or x is equal to 5. Number 3, you're going to have x is equal to negative 7 or x is equal to negative 9. Number 4, you're going to have x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1. Number 5, you're going to have x is equal to 0 or x is equal to negative 11. And number 6, the hardest one on this set, you're going to have x is equal to negative 2/3 or negative 0.6 repeating, or x is equal to 1/4 or 0.25. I don't really care if you give me a decimal value or a fraction. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm just going to try to read through some of these answers. I think I'll be able to get through a bunch of them without even needing to write much down, but I'll read through some answers here. Number 7, it looks like it's going to factor into positive 6 and negative 2. So we're going to have x is equal to negative 6 and positive 2. Number 8, looks like that one's going to factor into negative 9 and positive 1. So x is going to be positive 9 and negative 1. Number 9, looks like it's going to factor into negative 2 and negative 3. So x is going to be equal to positive 2 or positive 3. Number 10, looks like that one's going to, now notice for number 10, I'm going to have to subtract the 10x, or the 10 over to the other side. So it's a negative 10, really. Factors of negative 10 that add to get to negative 3 are negative 5 positive 2, which factors into x minus 5, x plus 2. So x is equal to 5 or x is equal to negative 2. Number 11, same kind of thing. We're going to have x squared plus 10x, and now I've got to add over the 16. So that means it's going to factor into x plus 8 and x plus 2. Set them both equal to 0. You're going to have x is equal to negative 8 and x is equal to negative 2. Number 12, we're going to have x squared plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0, which is going to factor into x plus 5, x minus 3. That means my answers are going to be x is equal to negative 5 or x is equal to positive 3. Number 13 here. Looks like it's going to be x is equal to 4. Number 14. Looks like it's going to be, now notice here that I've got to add the 3x over to the other side. Let me write it out. Let me write this one out. I add the 3x over to the left side. It's going to be 0 is equal to 3x squared plus 18x plus 27. Now I'm going to factor out the 3 because then it's going to turn it into an easy type. X squared plus 6x plus 9, which then factors into an x plus 3 and x plus 3. So my only answer is x is equal to negative 3. Notice that this doesn't really factor into any of the zeros. Remember, it only factors into one of the zeros if it includes a GCF, or it includes an x value and it's a GCF. Number 15, you should subtract over the 12x to make it look like this. And then the factors are negative 6, negative 6. So my solution is x is equal to 6. And the last sets here. Number 16, you're going to have x is equal to negative 7. Number 17, you're going to have x is equal to, looks like it's negative 8, negative 8, so x is equal to positive 8. And then the last one here, number 18, I'm going to have to write out this one. Add over the 18, and you're going to get 2x squared plus 6x plus 18 equals 0. Factor out the 2, you're going to be left with an x squared plus 3x plus 9. And does that do anything? Does that factor? I don't think so. So we would write prime. I think so. I'll have to double check on that later. I didn't think there was any prime on there. We add over the 18, divide by 2, 3, and 9. Yeah, I guess so. Because there's no factors in 9 that add to get to 3, so you're done. Okay. Let's take a look. See, now for that one, that's a good point that this one brings up. You know how I said, when I was presenting this in class, we're going to be solving these quadratic equations. This way would not work by factoring. You'd have to do some other method, which we'll learn later on at the end of this chapter. All right, a group of friends tries to keep a beanbag from touching the ground without using their hands. One beanbag is kicked, and it can be modeled by the height of negative 16 t squared plus 14 t plus 2. So here's my dude, and he kicks this beanbag to his friend, and there's the path. And it's a negative 16 t squared plus 14 t plus 2. And we want to know when it's going to hit the ground, splat, right, which is the 0 of the function. So we have equaling 0. We factor out a negative 2 because it leads to the negative. 8t squared plus 7t, minus 7t, excuse me. Minus 1. So now we have factors of negative 8 that add to get to negative 7, which are negative 8 and positive 1. I'm going to bring down this negative 2 here in a second. So we have 8t squared minus 8t plus 1t minus 1. I don't know why I put that. Hard to see here. And now I keep going. Factor by grouping. We pull out an 8t, leaving a t minus 1. We pull out a 1, leaving a t minus 1. So this is a t minus 1 and an 8t minus 1. Plus 1. Equaling 0. Now this goes away because it does not count as one of my zeros, but I'm going to have t minus 1 is equal to 0 and 8t plus 1 equals 0. Now I get a t is equal to 1, and then when I subtract the 1 and divide by 8, I'm going to get t is equal to negative 1/8. Now again, like I said in class the other day, you can have a bad time, but you can't have negative time. So therefore my only solution is t is equal to 1. which means it's in the air for 1 second. Okay, there we have it. So hopefully we did all right on the homework. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. And again, I'll be in class tomorrow, so I'll see you then. So long, folks.